Like Chris Brown amekuwa elder statesman. Like let's go listen. Play me some Money Long. Don't play me some Chris Brown. Play me some Hours and Hours. Mimi nataka R&B.
Watake wait.
Cocoa butter music.
Yes,
Silk. Cocoa butter music.
Hey.
Akusho.
Jojo Siwa. I don't know.
Jojo Siwa wangu.
Hey.
Welcome to episode 11 of Breaking Hertz. Kama kawaida, it's your boy Hafare, aka Mr. Metronome, aka your girlfriend's boyfriend, aka Rodney Malik Casino. And for this week, a man who knows his worth.
Wapi Kilemba?
Siwezi leta leo.
Mbona?
Bado hajafika. Actually nataka kucelebrate kwanza all through December. Okay? Nitakuja na Kufi everything hadi ile candelabra with the candles made specifically out of beeswax.
Sio ni Hanukkah. Oh my God.
Kwanza.
You're mixing
it. Nini afari?
Kuna ya kwanza and the candles must specifically be made from beeswax. Not paraffin wax, beeswax. Nakwambia.
Good for the environment.
I'm a lion individual. Despite what you might think of me.
Hey, we beg to differ, but
oh my God. And once again, it's me, your girl Suki Murage, aka Suki.jpg, aka Anita Murage, aka Uzumaki, aka Jessica Rabbit. And this week we're joined by one of my favorite multidisciplinary creatives of all time. I want him to introduce himself because I feel like it goes without saying, but like kuna vitu zingine sikumbukangi, so wewe tuambie wewe ni nani.
Tumejuana hivyo.
Tumejuana for so long. Now naongeza something new every year, so just tell us what you're up to.
I am Jeff Kiplagat or Kiplagat Kiprop, either or works. I am a multifaceted creative, as Suki amesema. I work in music and entertainment business, mostly in events and music business side, mostly publishing, distribution, and such stuff. Alafu nini? Well, nachezanga bass. By then narudi kucheza bass 2020.
By then apparently kuna campaign. Nimeona kuna shadow campaign. Uko tu nyuma. Kuna shadow campaign ya ku make sure urudi ku play bass.
Nini?
Wache suit.
Ati niache suti. Hata if this is how I dress every day. So in your suit lab. Yeah.
Even though msa atakanga wa mama. Unataka kitu. Baby, I don't even wear a suit. That's how I look every day.
That's the introduction.
Now, we'll speed through this kiasi. Let's get into what we've been listening to the past week.
I saw you were listening to King's Disease, so I'm hoping that you're going to cover that for this week.
Yes. Ngoja, let me just open my little list here.
Sawa.
So, where did we stop last week? Okay, so I've listened to a lot this week actually. I'll just power through it. Girl Next Door by Naomi Lorraine. She's a Swiss R&B artist, but you wouldn't tell because ana accent, because mimi nilikuwa surprised. And I sound like unajua what AI thinks English sounds like. No, but the project was good. She has a very good voice. And it's vibey R&B, unajua. It's like gold link type-ish beats. Unafurahia tu. Unajibamba. So, my favorite spoiled girls, Coco and Claire. Coco and Claire with their new album, Sexy. And that album is sexy. That album is for babes who have to worry about nothing. So, that album is for the Winnie Odingas of the world. So, if your father has so much money that you never have to work, you have a degree as a decoration.
It's Nepo baby music.
Basically. We kazi yako tu ni kukaa kwa nyumba kwambia, Daddy, I need 100,000 to go to Diani for the weekend with Michelle and Tiffany. That is music for you, and it is so good. This is music for babes who don't manifest because they already have it. They already have it.
Sasa ni festivities.
Also kusema, I am manifesting a trip. No, the trip is manifesting them. The destination wants them to come.
Tunaomba mkuje.
Mkikuja mnaangusha.
So it's a matter of when.
Yes, it's a matter of when. As in generational wealth music. As in very uplifting, like just spray rose water in my face, spray rose water in the air. You don't worry about a thing. All you do is self-care and hating on your ops. That's it. But anyway, Sexy by Coco and Claire. Amazing record, really dope record. First record they've done since 2017 when they released their debut, Posh, which again, I listened to this week, Pia, catching up. another piece of spoiled girl music. Go listen to them back to back zikifuatana, as the Lord intended. Back to back kama Drake, as the Lord intended. Then there was I was a bit disappointed with this one. What they hitting for, Jay Worthy and DJ Muggs. Jay Worthy is one of my favorite rappers. He's very laid back, he's very relaxed. He works with Sean House on London Drugs. Had a very good project this year with Harry Fraud. But this one was a bit disappointing. It felt very formulaic for me. I feel like he didn't go out of his comfort zone or he didn't push himself. And you know my favorite Jay Worthy fact nini? Any brother-in-law wa Elon Musk.
Why do you know this stuff?
Because
my question always. Mbona unajuanga hizi stuff?
Because Jay Worthy ni brother ya Grimes. Check you.
So ni uncle wa baby X nini?
Mathematical formula.
Password.
Baby password.
Random RNG, baby RNG. Random number generator. There was that, a bit disappointing, and I'm really trying to get through this because we have a lot to talk about. Then there was Certain by Destin Conrad. Sexy R&B. Baby making R&B. As in August mtakuwa mnajifungua R&B. Like this is the type of music that children are made to. This is not boys to men. Oh, this is boys becoming men. This is music, unaelewa? Yeah. And you know, the entire track list was in caps lock, so you know it's fire. If the entire track list in an R&B project is in caps lock, you know it is good.
For sure.
Went back to an old favorite, Coexist by the XX, to celebrate 10 years since it came out. Still a masterpiece, still a study in minimalism in music, because the production was so bare, so sparse, but they really worked with it. Then there was King's Disease 3 by Nas. One of the best hip-hop albums I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
No features. Hit Boy alipatia beats zingine insane. And Nas is rapping at a level that you wouldn't believe for a man who's almost 50. He's like aging reverse of Jay-Z. Where he's trying to just become hungry and better instead of like becoming old and just leaning into the whole I'm rich, I'm lean. This man is just becoming a hungry and better rapper. Niggas in their 20s aren't rapping with as much conviction and passion as he is. Amazing project. I would recommend it. Actually, I would recommend everything from King's Disease 1, 2, Magic,
Anything
and 3.
by Nas, bro.
Okay, kuna time Nas alikuwa the whole Kanye West story. So ulicheki. Ana record vitu kwa the back of a car. But anyway, amazing album. And finally, Beyond Belief by 38 Special and Harry Fraud. Once again, Harry Fraud is giving these rappers very, very good beats and they're doing things to them. Like, I don't know how I feel about what they're doing, but they're just doing things. I tweeted that 38 Special is what happens when you're Mturaga figures out he knows how to rap. Like, he has the energy of somebody who wears a blood-stained like lab coat.
Na toothpick.
Ni kama anauzanga Wariongo bypass. Imagine if somebody who sells Mtura the bypass, huko Kamakis, mtu akona poka, kona kuku kila kitu kwa hiyo grill, anaigeuza akisema customer kuja uonje. Imagine if that person never found out that he's really good at rapping. What would he rap about? Exactly, that is who that Special is. Ni msetu fulani ni kama alikuwa tu kwa hood, akaambiwa by the way bwanza kurhyme, akarealize fuck naweza rhyme. And then Harry Fraud akamwambia shika hizi beats. Should you listen to it? Yes. It's very grimy, it's very dark, it's very like unaanza kusikia unasema wao umse kwani hizi vitu anaongelea alifanya kweli because that would be very weird. So anyway, that was my week.
Ukisikiliza Cardinali.
Exactly. Nikao kusikiliza Cardinali but more like you're a 47-year-old man. Why are you talking about this?
Okay, so this week I didn't listen to as much in terms of like physical projects or full bodies of work, but I listened to a couple of the new releases from around Friday. Janice Iche recently came out with The Journey Continues. It's a debut album after a long hiatus from making music. For those of you who don't know Janice, they're a multidisciplinary artist as well.
Very good one.
Visual artist, singer-songwriter, beautiful, beautiful voice. And now she's making her debut as a producer. So that was interesting. The party was on Friday. Akosi Jumadi was there, Nabalayo was there.
Where was
I
it?
didn't get to attend. It was at the Santori Salon. So it's a new space also at the mall.
There's so many new spaces.
Yeah.
New things.
But I heard it was a vibe from those who went. And then I got to listen to it. It's a very Sunday morning album. So I loved like waking up to it, Jana. Her vocals have really matured, I feel. And the layering is also spectacular. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to it. I also got to listen to The Fuse is Lit by Busta Rhymes. This is Busta's latest project. The last one was Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God.
Pole, pole.
The Wrath of God. The Wrath of God indeed.
Usitoe hiyo.
Wacha.
Usitoe kwa edit. Usitoe. Usijaribu.
Come on.
I'm saying
Yes.
it's a very baby.
Bana.
So it's his new EP following Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God, from 2020. As you remember, ODB was on the Q-Tip, Anderson .Paak, Mariah Carey, Kendrick for like his only feature for that year. I like that Mariah Carey is on there as well because I really love when Busta and Mariah come together.
Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give
Rakim
it
was
to
there
you.
too.
I know what I want.
But I feel like there's some songs that were scaring the hoes, or like me as the hoes, I was scared. But
We'll talk about
But
that.
yeah,
We'll talk about that.
it really picks up from the ODB track. I think I felt like that was there were a couple of tracks there that like really fit the kind of music that I listen to. And I love this new project. It's just that it's gotten a few mixed reviews. I guess people expected more from Busta. He's edging 50 now, actually. He is 50.
Yeah.
So I feel like his flow still one of one. Felt like there was a bit of, he was trying something new. I feel like that's what I'm going to say. I mean, maybe it wasn't for me, but I really enjoyed the song with Skilly Bang, Bulletproof Skin. That's my takeaway track from that EP. If you listen to it, he delayed the release in honor of Takeoff's funeral. I feel like Busta has really been giving people like their flowers of late also. He's been coming through in that respect. So it was nice to listen to what he's been up to, I guess, over the past couple of years.
My favorite Busta moment of the past few years, when during that like beat competition, it was, I don't remember if it was just Blaze and his beats. And his beats was making this fucking ass beat.
Yeah.
Like ilikuwa mbaya. And then you could see Busta in the back getting so crazy. Anabambika. I'm like, why is this man getting excited? This shit is ass.
Oh my God.
The pandemic was a wonderful time. Of all the things we saw during the pandemic, we will never have a time where entertainment and pop culture and music was so weird. Niggas were doing verses on Instagram Live.
I don't think it was weird.
It
was different, but I feel like it was what was happening.
Yeah.
Just that now everybody has time to watch it.
Okay, kweli. Saizi amna kitu kingine
Hamna
kufanya.
kitu kudu.
Hakuna club iko open my dear.
Amwendi mahali.
Shake that
Lazima
ass in your house.
Mkipatiwa vitu za ufala, mnaiconsume tu.
Shake that ass in your house, my man.
Yeah, and finally, I also got to listen to Camp by Childish Gambino. Went back to it after the end of Atlanta, which marked, I think, the end of probably my favorite season ever. A lot of people might not have like picked up on it, but I really liked it because the storyline was more about, like I got to see Paperboy in a different light. A lot of people have commented that they like Paperboy's journey throughout the show because it's not about him even being a rapper or like him being good at it. It's just what's it like when you come from, like you break out as an artist and then like you're the trajectory of a rapper's career until the point where he decides to go to the farm, as most rappers tend to towards a certain point of their career.
Go to the farm like the way dogs go to the farm upstate.
Wow,
Jesus.
that's
Just
Man.
That's a good reference, though. I didn't see it like that. But like, yeah, so I was listening to Camp. Camp turned 11 this year. I think it was interesting because, like, I think Donald Glover has also grown a lot in our eyes. We've seen him be trashed, especially for his views on like black women. Camp actually kind of just exemplified that. So sonically, it ages well. Thematically, there are some songs that scare the host still. So I don't know. Like I enjoyed it. I think Camp is a really good album, and it's definitely worth going back to in 2022.
Never been a big Childish Gambino fan. Because as you have said, and I want to segue into this, it's all about scaring the hose. See, I saw a tweet the other day, and somebody said you can't play MF Doom around the hose. Bro, as in... Ni ukweli?
But ni ukweli, Buddha.
You're
gonna scare the hose.
I was bring them kwa nyumba alafu wanze kumplay all caps.
You can't.
Rap snitches. Tell them all their business. Atakwambia by the way, as in I need to go pick up my 2 kids from their baby daddies just to put you off completely because what?
I think it depends on the babe though, because like there are a couple of artists that I saw then I was like, I kind of enjoy this person's music, but like I wouldn't introduce.
But
Freddie
when you
Gibbs.
outlier,
I wouldn't play Freddie Gibbs for the chama. That's all I'm saying. Like,
exactly when you outlier.
Okay,
When
You,
you, like if a babe attends boom bap, you're an outlier.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, like you wewe uko mwisho.
Sio muziki ya Ox.
Seems
yeah, Ox for sure.
Because unaweza kuwa bash play J Cole bana.
First of all, no.
Exactly. It's Friday. Nobody wants to hear that
Bro,
shit.
it's
I play
Friday.
that song with beer. It's a bop.
I don't care.
I played it at a party and people responded.
But
like,
parties
everyone
with
responded.
people
As
who
in,
have your music taste.
I know the parties you go to.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't mean much.
In the grand scheme of things, maybe you come to my parties. What are you talking about? Kind
Lazima
of,
slander J Cole at any opportunity. I'm sorry if I threw you under the bus.
Same, bro, same.
I'm sorry. But Jeff, sasa, what do you consider scaring the host music? Wewe?
Scaring the host music. Well,
What wouldn't you play for the finest buddies?
Yes, like when you're inviting buddies to your kakeja, si ndio? Uko na kachupa kamalfi hapo. Bro. I'm setting the mood. Alafu anasha hivi TV, anaanza kusikia vinipaz. Haiwezekani.
Hey, yangu ni different, bro. Because mine is more or less from I listen to a lot of instrumental music because of my background and everything. So meaning say ideally I'm a very kwanza kucheza guitar nilianza juu ya kusikiza rock sana. That's my genesis. So now from there rock may evolve from soft nikaingia metal, death metal, now I'm into prog metal which is mostly just purely metal instrumentals. So you need to scare the hose, but it's lovely music. It's really lovely music. Like if you're into music and melody, and from a guitar standpoint, like I listen to people who've made Wakonama features na kina Steve Vai and stuff, like the top guitarists in the world. Like I know, say, the American artists, but wanna respect you even in Japan, you know, because like metal and rock is a whole
you're
other
big in Japan.
thing in Japan.
Exactly.
Yeah. In the words of famous Dex, Japan.
Exactly.
So bro, like it's yangu tu ni mostly rock, jazz. I mean, I'm very eclectic, so I mean,
You know what I'd do? Like I would play that music if a babe showed up with black lipstick on.
I mean, bet, but like that's also just assuming that that's the kind of music that babe listens to. Maybe ni mse wa Jungle Pussy unamchezea sama metal.
Jungle Pussy?
labda atakaimbiwe
What's that? That sounds great.
What the fuck is that? Jungle Pussy is fire.
What the fuck? Where can I find some?
You're very unorthodox safari.
But yeah, some Jungle Pussy, some Baby Mother, you know, like black lipstick girls don't all just listen to rock. Like it's definitely a diverse pool of you just need to read what the person also wants to listen to. How do you know what to pick up on? Like what are like your top 5 or like 3 maybe genres that you'd play for someone you've never met?
First link, mulimatch on Bumble.
Exactly.
Profile yake ni bare bones, but never like profile yake ina details, but she's pretty and you may confirm she catfish.
Twitter has died.
Yes.
You don't know what she likes.
Yes, you don't know what she likes.
Put in a very
Hawezi fanya research yako. Nakwambia we only ask the hard questions on this show. So
no that matter.
But
To get to know someone, I'd put lo-fi. Lo-fi music because lo-fi is a very big it's very distinct sababu it picks up on both originality and sampling sababu utapata one day utapata verse ya Biggie ya Dead Wrong relax and take talks on some really random guy called Sugiwa and that shit bangs, you know. And so utapata like ana pick up on what because at times they'll have gospel references. There are days when they'll just pick up some vitu za kina triple extentation and stuff, so you know, like it's very robust. So but nights in a
I like the word
twist.
robust.
Maze.
I like the word robust.
It's fun to say.
So so like ni mash up almost everything that you have. Then it's also a bit very sentimental because now it helps you concentrate and stuff like that. So now I just from there after all the samples now I know what to play for you next. So now because the template is already on lo-fi because how utaisikiliza then you're like you'll hum to some words. Kuna verse zingine utapick up utaendelea tu kurap then kutoka hapo you just pick it up.
Yako ni observation method. Wewe unaangalia tu.
That's how it should be.
Unacheki tu pali kuna just
Spike.
a spike. Ndio hapa. I think maybe I would just play a 90s R&B. Like for sure Easy Fail.
But bro, you Easy Fail.
Exactly.
Ndio maana bana
Exactly.
explain na kila Wednesday.
Okay, naelewa point yako. But still, at the end of the day, like mimi nataka the shortest path to success.
Ladies' night music.
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Okay, no, because as in, I'm here. I've cooked you a great meal. Cindy, we are drinking wine. I'm not going to start playing prog rock for you. As in,
Yeah, for sure.
Cindy, I am not going to start playing like some hardcore hip hop. I'm not going to start playing future funk for you because I love future funk. But I'm not going to start playing. Like, we are here for a reason. Sawa? Nakuwekea nini? Babyface when I get home. Tuendange tukiendanga.
That's a
Kevin
good
Campbell.
middle ground,
Okay.
Can we talk? Selena, if I could fall in love. Pole pole tu, it's a slippery slope. Tunaendanga tukiendanga. Sasa hizi vitu zingine ni the second third link up. Unacheki? Hizi vitu zingine sana venye mmeshaanza kuongeleshana mmejuana, mnajua sasa hapa naweza rusha kitu kiasi vinaambia baby listen to this song. Do you like it? Unacheki? It's the intertwining of personalities. Hapo hivyo.
Get you.
Okay.
Like if
Nimeget.
you do not want to scare the hose, the best thing to do is always play it safe. Always play it close to your chest. As in trap, kama watu wamelewa zimeshika, dancehall, afrobeat, and the PSD resistance, 90s R&B, New Jack swing, si ndio?
Amsikizangi reggae.
Reggae.
Reggae nasikia the hose.
Ai
No,
we
no,
reggae.
no, no. Hey, reggae.
Mimi niliplay reggae nikaambiwa toka hapa bana. Unaribu form. Kwani tuko kinyozi?
Mimi ndo naambianga wasi wasicheze reggae.
Hatuko kinyozi bana.
Ndio kinyozi jo. Lakini reggae kuna time zake.
Reggae kuna time I love reggae.
Reggae kwanza Saturday afternoon. Ukioga nini unajiprepare kwenda out. Unajibamba tu na reggae yako pole pole. Inabamba sana.
Kwambia
Reggae si ya ku
reggae ni kwenda kwa balcony. Just pour yourself a drink, kusip pole pole. Unasikiza tu kina Morgan Heritage, kina Glen Washington. Wanakuambia mawaidha. Sikiza message. Now, before we finish this topic, nataka tuambie wewe what music scares you.
Come
What
on.
music scares me? Okay, like
Spokesperson for the host.
Sindio, spokesperson for the host. Now, with your eclectic taste, so I'm sure it has to be something very
Really
specific
bad.
that
Yeah,
scares you.
Like it has to be bad.
no, like I'm telling you, like the beginning of like that last Busta Rhymes project, there were some songs where for real they were just skips for me. Like it wasn't hitting the ear the way I thought it would. I love it soft. I love it, melodic, some lo-fi. However, siwezi fikiria deeply about it like right now. So acha nitakwambia before the end
No,
of the
but
show.
do you remember that the spoken word thing you sent me?
Oh, wait. That was actually terrible.
Karibu nitupe simu yangu
That
bana.
was not good. So, like,
Nilishanga mbona as in ini nini?
if there's an incongruence of instruments, I'm telling you to take that shit off.
Exactly.
There's bad jungle, there's bad music in all genres, but like me nakwanga open to listening to just about anything. I just want to know what you find interesting. So most of the time mtu akikam kwangu for the first time, nampea simu, play what you want or what you like, what you're into. We start picking it up from there. But I don't think I found anything that I would particularly find like not interesting. It depends na mood. Sometimes it's like some really slow reggae, sijiski kusikiza reggae. So it's like, I don't know, depends on the day. Depends on the day. Oh, if you play me some Chris Brown, personally, I'm scared.
Let me see if you can run it.
Cause
Toka mbio ukisikia ngoma.
Jason Derulo, why? In 2022, why would you do that to
one
me?
for real, now that one. But me, CB, bro. CB as a...
Really?
Hata kusho 2017 Chris Brown. Yeah.
A post 2017.
Chris Brown venye alimake deuces, okay. Same say, like Chris Brown amekuwa elder statesman. Like, let's go listen. Play me some Money Long. Don't play me some Chris Brown. Play me some Hours and Hours. Mimi nataka hiyo R&B. Unacheki?
Wait.
Cocoa butter music.
Yeah, silk.
Cocoa butter music.
Hey.
Akusho.
Jojo Siwa. I don't know.
Jojo
like,
si wangu.
Hey, bro.
There's some white girls
Wacha
who
tu.
lichezea.
Iwache.
Like I know you made a case for Carly Rae Jepsen a few weeks ago.
What?
Sijui bado. But I'll settle into it. There's some pop girls that I don't fit
Please do not slander Carly Rae Jepsen on.
in. On this podcast, no, I shan't.
Naweza kuja na flag yake
I've
next
learned
week.
my time.
Hafari.
Hey, Carly Rae Jepsen ni mnoma. Do not start. Because issue it end off the
A
rails.
Carly Rae Jepsen apologist. Is a
Apologize for what? That woman has never done anything wrong.
We said
She's
we're
not
not going
Taylor
to talk
Swift.
about it. We said we're not going
Okay.
to talk. Another
Very
one.
Exactly. Anyway,
So, yeah.
now we're going to talk about the Grammys, ndio, at some point the
Yeah.
nominations. But now, there's something I'd like written down. What happens when artists take too long between the albums, does the expectation of the album become too much for them to live up to? Or is it just that they're so good, especially when they release a very good project? Case in point, Kendrick Lamar. Between Damn and Mr. Morale, whatever, 5-year gaps, indio?
Yeah.
During those 5 years, like, did the expectation build to a point where it was unjustifiable, that he couldn't actually live up to it?
He couldn't. He was just going to give us what he could, like what he'd been reflecting on during that time that he'd spent away from like the limelight. I feel like it's been the same way. Like if any fan of Frank Ocean knows, like you don't know what you're going to expect from this guy the next time. It's just going to be, like come as you are. Because like he'll drop like snippets everywhere around the internet, like that will feed you about like the kind of headspace that he's in, the kind of sounds he's imbibing in, things like that. But personally, I prefer to meet the artist where they are. A lot of people want the consistency of, like sonically this person has given me this, lyrically this person has given me this. Same thing with like this Busta Rhymes project, like, after listening to the 2020 album, because that's what I was listening to for most of last week, then jumping into this project, I was just like, I don't know, there's an incongruence for sure, but at the same time, the artist is the artist. They're going to do what they're going to do.
See, the problem with you two is nyinyi watu reasonable. Unaona? Nyinyi watu mko as in hiyo ni shida in this context because
si basi uko ina unreasonable.
No, just listen. I'm just going to look at it from the point of view of just the random fan. Unaelewa? That like there are two types of fans in this case, especially for an artist of that level. Even for Rihanna. Rihanna album yake mwisho ilikuwa 20.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly the thing with Rihanna as well. Rihanna is a mom now. You think she's going to give us Ponde replay? Like it's never going to happen.
I mean, we want that. You need that.
Yeah,
music.
we need that Ponde replay. But if
Okay.
she wants to give us a nice mournful song,
Do you think the fans are like, again, you know to reasonable? That's the problem here. Do you think the people who are every day asking Rihanna, where's the album? Where's the album? Whatever album she gives us might not live up to the idea of the album they want in their head.
That's true.
Because they've been waiting it for so long, they've already idealized like the perfect album for them. So mnaka 5, 6, 7 years mkingoja. Shade hajatoa album in how many years?
Exactly.
Yeah.
12.
Sure.
Exactly. And now people are already building their expectations for what like the new Sade project will sound like. We don't know.
We don't know.
Even
We don't
Beyonce,
know.
we never know what to expect. It's just that like, she constantly exceeds the expectations that we have. But at the same time kiss my teeth. Jeff, what are you saying? Jeff, what are you saying?
I would love to know Jeff's opinion on this. Like, do you think that your expectation itaifikiwa? Whatever expectation the fans have in their head, when a very big, very like even a critically acclaimed artist takes a very, very long time to put out the next record. Kama Juicy with the years.
Yeah.
Like it was 7 years between albums. So whatever you put out, it's either gonna be received like kuna watu watasema, oh great, that's a nice album. So guys are gonna like no, it's not as good as the last one, because in their mind they've had years and years and years to idolize this one and lionize it and sanctify it. The last
Ndo
project.
watu wenye wanakwanga kwa hizo machati zako. Wewe upenda kuchora.
My God.
Metacritics or wherever.
Twitter fingers.
Jesus, hebu tujibu.
Jeff tuambie.
Nimepigwa tako lingine. Jeez. Mwili natingika yani. Nashukuru niko na CTE.
There.
Jesus.
Tapoa.
I think over time the expectation is usually met, because ukiangalia mtu kama Adele, she releases albums like after every 3-4 years, even though amefunza her fan base, so everybody knows over the next 3 or 4 years she'll have grown, then produce something that's better than her previous album. I mean, track record in a show, like everybody who says like her next album is going to be better than the last one, and it's always like that. Ukiangalia in our local scene, people are releasing albums every year. So your flow and your writing skill doesn't grow past a certain level until you take a break to change your style. Then now when you come back, when your style is new, people will be disappointed because they're dealing with the nostalgia that you used to give them.
Exactly.
So kitu nasumanga mafans ni nostalgia, but once your album imetokea, they have it for like the next 3 months. Kitu na blow up too. So at the end of the day, it's just curating the taste for your fans. Si kitu kubwa sana. I mean, they'll have to accept it.
At the end of the day. Nika mtoto, nika shemeji, kubali tu.
Tulikuwa hapo na Lil Wayne kutoka 500 degrees, akatoa kata 3 one of the best albums that I think Lil Wayne has ever put out. And then now suddenly like took to the Carter series and everything, like Aziko the same league in a Carter 3, but what you have to do is accept the music that he's putting out because that is what you're being fed. You know?
That's where he's gotten to. Yeah.
And you know, the reason I actually want to talk about this because I feel like, as much as I didn't think it was as good as his previous album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was not a bad album.
Yeah.
Not bad, yeah.
But there's this notion that it was not a good album because of how long people waited for it and what was delivered to them. I was having this conversation on Saturday night. And again, I wouldn't put it even in my top 10 for the year. I've listened to better records. But is it a bad record? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
But it's not as good as Damn. Let's just start there.
Yeah, true.
It's not even, it's nowhere near as good as
I feel like it will age well, though.
Oh, yeah,
It will
yeah.
age
It will
well.
age well.
Aging, it will age well.
It will age well, yes. And over time, people will come to see it as what it is. Because I think it needs, and this is a failing of, I think, artists. If you need more than one listen, if your album needs more than one listen for me to get it, then you've lost me as a fan on some level. Because I should be able to get your album immediately. I shouldn't have to be told that listen to this 7 times ndio uelewe Kenya alikuwa anasema. Because you wouldn't tell me to watch a movie 7 times to get the point. I'll either get it mara ya kwanza or I'll never get it at all.
But the thing is, like, it's the different like formats of art. I feel like music is something that you sit with, especially because there's so many stories intertwined. It's like a bunch of tracks that have been put together in a certain sequence for you to not only enjoy but to also hear what this artist is trying to tell you. You can't have like you can have a first listen response. That's definitely something that people do. But like the ultimate goal of artistry is to be able to sit with it enough times to dissect like different bits of it.
Sure.
So a good fan, a fan that's loyal to this artist will do that. A lot of people actually do that. Even like with movies, watch Scorsese movies like a bunch, for instance. You like watch them and rewatch them, and like you'll take it apart at different points of your life. There's definitely that one movie that Najwa, you know, you probably watched like a bunch of times for the same reason. Because not because you had that nostalgia for the way that you felt, but you had that nostalgia for what that person was trying to convey with the piece of art that they brought before you.
Convey.
So, yes. So the thing about music coming out rapidly is that like that's something that we now miss. We don't have that culture of listening to a project multiple times. We want someone to tell us what they're telling us because you have other projects to check out. You don't want to have to go back every other time. But you love Kendrick, so you'll go back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like,
So, okay.
we've both listened to projects again that have aged well.
I do agree with that. But at the same time, Pia, I feel like being told that I didn't get it because I didn't like something at the first place is kind of insulting my intelligence.
It's insulting the artist's intelligence to tell them
Yeah,
that you didn't get what they were trying to say off the bat. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it because that's what they wanted to do. So
umenikiuzia story leo mara ngapi?
nimeshinda nikikwambia hivi 11 weeks bana.
My point is when I'm listening to something, I'll digest as much of it as I can.
I respect that.
Kuniambia sasa, like, because I was having this discussion, like, I was telling guys I really didn't feel that album.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, ni venye kusikiza tu vizuri. Like, there's so much more in there. I went back and listened to it, I was like,
It's still the same ass.
kwani mimi ndio mjinga ama? Tunaonanga hiyo meme, kwani mimi ndio mjinga? Ama mimi ndio mjinga, exactly. Ama mimi ndio fala. As in, what's going on?
But it goes back to what I was telling you last week, Aki, like, the thing about it is you don't know when it's going to hit for you specifically. Like if you aren't going to go on the journey with Kendrick, kuna siku moja utapata something that relates.
That man is going on a journey to Dr. Sebi. And you know I'm right.
You're not going to be a hot if you're already drinking tea, my guy.
And by then nimekunywa chai mara. Wewe, you're ruining my life, by the way. Your influence and how time mfanya naanza kunywa chai.
Si unafaa kunywa chai bro.
Chai ni mbaya.
Uzuri ni chai tu chai, like as in water and tea bag.
Hivyo ninaanzanga kidogo maziwa utakosa. Kidogo na marafiki wa kale wengi bro.
Kidogo nanunua shamba litain.
When ile to bloomer.
Sijui niende home. Leo nimepigwa pande zote bana.
Oh my god.
Should we just move on to the next topic? Let's slide it in.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
No, see, like, as in, the imagery works.
Bro, imagery.
So, the Grammy nominations also came out within the past week. and I'm very interested in hearing what you thought, especially given the fact that we're also just taking apart. Okay, I know from a fan perspective, people don't feel like the Grammys still have pull, but we still know that like awards are very important in terms of like developing an artist's image, or like even just like giving credit where it's due.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the norms this week? That came out last week.
The norms are fine. The categories what I usually have a problem with. Sababu
They've
utapata.
toured some, yeah.
Yeah, and then like what is the best international act, and then you're putting us Ozuna pamoja na kina Burna Boy, like what is that? Like why don't we have like our own Afrobeat? I mean, it's already a big thing. Why don't we have our own Gengeton or Bongo inclusion into the Grammys? Because these are already predominant genres in the region. Why don't you have one for Seben, just to have the guys in DRC? Because Seben, the Congolese music is really big music, because apparently it's even huge in France. You know, like it's huge. That's why I have people like Akina Aya Nakamura and Kina Levy coming out and doing all this stuff in Francophone. You know, like there's enough data to support that. There needs to be more genres, more categories to include now everybody. Because I mean, it's the same like having a world tour and going to US and Europe. You know, so it beats the sense of it being an international.
The usual world tour, basically.
It's the world tour of awards.
Yeah.
I agree with you on some level. I feel like having like Burna Boy and like Ozuna in the same category is kind of bullshit, because Burna Boy is the biggest artist in Africa right now. Ozuna is one of the biggest in South America. These are guys who are big or even bigger than established American artists. And you're putting them, you're lumping them all in one position of Piganes, You're having fan bases just fighting each other on social media because of an award. And then you've got some random no-name hick out of nowhere, nominated in best country pop
music.
Exactly. Best country pop vocal song performance. Like they create a very bullshit category that only you can win, basically. Pekee utashinda tu. Hiyo category kuna wase watano na ujui hata mmoja. Unashangaa akona Grammy ya sijui best vocal song, country music song done in the back of a pickup truck about a dog.
Sang at the Hard Rock Cafe tunes. Like it's very specific that you have to win. You know, and I get that there's usually some type of discourse with how people are nominated and how they win and stuff like that. But still, like Yani, it never makes sense as to why you're putting the rest of the world, you know, like the Europes and the Americas and the rest of the world, you know, in that one category that you have to like ball over, you know. And already, like if you take it to the South Americans, South American they consume music on a crazy level. So asking them to level the field for Zuda, they'll do it in a heartbeat. While we can't do that.
The stupidest thing is, kunawanga na Latin Grammys.
Yeah, that's true.
As in, what the fuck? You guys decided and that already, instead of including our say into the original Grammys, let's just make their own separate category.
But I saw that apparently, and like I thought this was also very strange, that Un Verano Sinti, Nani, what's his name?
Bad Bunny. Biggest artist in the world, by the way.
He's the first Latin artist to be like given a crossover into the like best album of the year category for this year from the Latin field. And they created the Latin field category this year as well. So it's like, okay, are they trying to be more inclusive or like
Gen Z are on their neck?
Yeah, Gen Z
are on their neck.
They can't refuse at this point.
Hey, mnaambiwa acheni ujinga bana. Hizi ni vitu gani?
Because even in TikTok, like Brazil has their own docket. Like they even have their own TikTok Brazil awards, like Latin America awards and stuff like that. Like they're in the league is like in China and whatever in terms of consumption.
Nice.
So I would say like they're doing the thing.
Now, not only are the categories fucked up, the nominations unaziona. Nigga, I've listened to better shit like Jack Harlow ako nominated for album.
Imagine best rap album of the year.
Okay, I mean,
nilikaa hivi nikajiuliza.
He's a good rapper.
As in, fine. But like Jack Harlow, that DJ Khaled album as well. I'm sorry, I haven't listened to it, so I can't
Future,
say
I Never Liked You.
Yeah.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, please.
It's Almost Dry, must win.
Yes,
Otherwise,
it's Almost Dry, must win.
There will be war.
No. They're going to give it to Kendrick because that is what they think.
Everyone
wants him to win. Yes, everyone wants him to win.
But it's a voting thing. Like, apparently the voting field has also been opened. It's not just like...
It's not the academy peke yake saizi.
No, but the academy also plays a part.
Yeah. So,
the academy is full of just old people. Msali alianza kusikiza ngoma
Any
1947.
awards anywhere ni old people, bro.
There's actually a babe that sijui kama anakuanga Mkenya, but like there's a Kenyan that's part of the Grammy voting committee as well.
Yeah, there is a Kenyan babe. I've forgotten her name. Charlotte Bwana from Audiomack.
Yeah, she's part of the yeah.
Jeez.
She is.
Manze nimejua stuff.
Acha nimtweet leo, ndam nimuulize yo.
The process is like also, but like
Charlotte Bwana, if you're listening to this, come on the show tuambie. Yeah.
If you're allowed, come kuna NDA, we'd love
but
to know.
I would love to know.
We just want to understand how some of these projects make it sell. So.
For sure.
Because I saw somebody saying it's like you submit a project, and that's why like
I feel like a lot of our faves don't do that. Like they
you
decided
like
that they're
I don't think I don't think like what's this called? This Jid. For sure I didn't I could submit Forever Story.
And everyone was like, Bona Forever Story.
I'm
Jid. He wouldn't do that.
I was looking at that list, I'm like, it's almost Dry should win, but you know it's either gonna be Kendrick or Jack Harlow. They're gonna pull the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's either gonna be Kendrick or Jack Harlow.
Plot twist, bro.
That Jack Harlow, like there's a whole there's a story in this season of Atlanta that kind of mirrors like Jack Harlow's like rise. Okay, let me not hate on Jack Harlow. He's actually like done a lot of work, so I can't say that it's him.
Yeah, no, he's a really good
but
rapper.
they're those white boy rappers that somehow make it into like these big award shows, and like you don't
The
know how they-
Macklemore.
but like it's just
Alafu the worst thing about the Macklemore situation was the text he sent Kendrick after, and then he posted it at I'm sorry I robbed you. My boy, you should have just shut up and gone home.
Shut up, bro.
Just go home. I don't mwambie tu bro.
What is he saying,
Walikugeuzia I'm sorry, but sikupatia award. Kumbavu.
Bro, hakuna kitu inabo kama hiyo, bro.
Ati una virtue signal sasa.
Manze.
I'm sorry bro, I robbed. Ungekata if you knew it was a robbery ungekata award.
Yeah.
Ungesema I don't think I deserve this. We should have been to this guy so siwezi kubali. As in the academy
because me kwanza hata like Jack Harlow kwa ndani, but hatujaangalia na ni mtu kama Lil Dicky. You know, because Lil Dicky now is dope as hell.
You know the problem with Lil Dicky is I feel like on the technical part he can actually rap. He can actually really rap, but he just makes like rap for himself. Like even to the point where I understand that music is made for yourself. To the point where inaanza ku feel like maybe I shouldn't be listening to this.
Wait, do you watch Dave?
I have watched Dave Kiasi. I remember the scene where was it Young Thug was coughing.
He's one of my favorite creatives. Baby.
Yeah,
he's
a creative. He's a
it.
creative. His music will not translate as well to award shows or radio or because his biggest song ni gani? Save That Money. Freaky Friday. And even the concept is a very weird concept that most artists would never even be allowed by the label to shoot a video like that, to even have a song like that in rotation. But because Lil Dicky is Lil Dicky, he exists outside the on the fringe. Anafanya vitu zake.
He's such an anomaly.
Exactly. And I feel like award shows do not like anomalies.
Yeah.
Award shows love to be safe and PG and they want everyone to go home happy. Wanapatia kila msee the things they deserve.
Yeah.
Now, if it was you, ungedominate albums gani for rap album of the year?
Rap album of the year. Triple S mbona iko?
I think Triple S ilitoka too late for submission.
True. Okay. So me, It's Almost Dry was an immediate one for me, so I was happy to see it on the list. Forever Story, of course, wouldn't have made it there, but I really enjoyed that project. Siko sure. Acha nitarudi na responses.
I'm trying to think. Forever Story, yes.
Yeah. I was going to pass it on to Jeff.
Ngoja.
Mgeni bana.
No, mgeni ndo nafunga. Si ndio, mgeni ndo nafunga. Because Cheat Codes
is so good. Oh my God. I've listened to it so many times this year, actually. I really enjoyed Cheat Codes.
Yeah.
Yes. Front to back, fantastic album. The features are amazing. The production is crazy. Deja Mas really went in.
There's a few like they would never have gotten nominated, like Raised by Wolves by Yo Dog and Cardo Got Wings, Spaceships on a Blade by Larry June, You Take the Credit Will Take the Check by Jay Waddy and Harry Fraud. There have been some really good rap albums that just exist in itself, and if it was going on merit, if we were going on merit, not just like, oh, Jay-Z's on this album with some verse, he's rapping about 16 minutes about nothing we care about, let's put it on the list. If it was about merit, those albums would have made it, and a lot of the ones on there would never have seen the day of light. Zingekuwa zimefungiwa tu kwa box fulani zinaambiwa, you niggas, you are never coming out of this. You bring shame to our family. Tukifunga show tuambie.
Mimi yangu ni a local album. Masao Jean, I think it's good. Biggs by Big Yasa.
Biggs was really good. Way.
Man, Big Yasa is a really, really, really dope driller. Like, yani, ule mse nilimwona every boiler room. Sikuwa naamini, like, ni real, yani. But he's actually a good writer. He's a good performer. His attitude is A1. Like, he's built for whatever he's doing. So my nomination, definitely Big Yasa.
Inile boiler room ilikuwa drill lakini alikuwa na play Otile Brown.
Hapana, hii ni ile ya juzi.
Si ni ya drill. So alikuwa na play Otile Brown at some point. Don't you remember?
At what point?
At some point, but
after,
like a lot of it was mostly
after nilikuacha huko ama before.
Actually, ulitoka ukaenda, then mimi nikasikia Dusuma nikasema mimi naenda hata mimi. Nianza kusikia baby nikashanga wewe. Tuko event ya drill bana. What the fuck is going on? Kidogo wakaanza kungisha mangoma sijui za Bana Boy. Nikamwambia waseni aje? It's been real. Nikaenda Milan.
Ule mse, like guys even are getting confused. Wanasema said ni Brooklyn Boys. Like guys are getting confused because he's pulled and everybody over there was moshing to his songs. Everybody was singing songs word for word. Like yani, nilimwadmire tu.
Wait, I have a question just before we wrap up. Unless you're keeping it low key.
Hey, okay.
That was fun.
I see you.
You also the one that put me on to Jody Fanetto.
Yeah.
So what do you think of his career as well?
Jody has bars. Bars, bro, bars. I think he'll do something. He'll shake up the industry because anapanda vizuri and he's a very chill guy, by the way. Like, but he's making his moves very slow but sure. He has the talent, bro. Like, yeye lazima atafika.
Yeah, and how do you decide like what artists to spotlight particularly for like a spotlight feature like the ones that you guys do?
Ideally it's just the work that you put out. Then seeing how your numbers look like. Because also, I mean, it's also a game of numbers. You just don't appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you must have had your own clout. You must have had your own people backing you up. Then also there comes the A&R aspect where we also scout you for a bit, and then now we choose to see whether you're fit for the production or not.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Now before we finish, Ndako, just plug your shit. Whatever you have coming up, whatever you have going on.
Funny hot ones.
No, see, in a beauty, like.
Okay, no, for
yes,
real.
because I think kuna sherehe fulani mnafanya tarehe 10 December.
Maybe not.
Oh, okay.
I confirm you. Yeah. I also do events. I run a company called Happy People with one of my partners. Then I also run Low Key with one of my partners also. That's LWKY. So on the socials it's LWKY20 on IG, TikTok, and then on Twitter it's LWKY_LWKY. So it's Low Key. So it's actually just a production series. So we are getting now into like shooting music videos for artists and stuff like that. But then now there's also like a minimum requirement that you have to reach. And so that now we plug you in. Yeah. Okay. And then now for the events, right now our flagship event is called Underground Sessions. Happens every month, but due to some constraint, we're not going to be having it this month and next month. So we're going to start again around February once we finish out ironing everything out. And then, so...
Very dope event by the way. I've gone like for the past 2. Sherehe ingine hatari sana. Sherehe as in 10 out of 10.
Asante bro, asante.
A+ as in bonus points.
Asante bro. So mkisikia hii stuff tafadhali, when you see the poster, by all means, come. Juni bash tupu.
Hey, bash tupu. Hatari.
Ni hatari.
Sherehe after all.
Yeah. For real.
Thank you so much for coming, Jeff. We really appreciated having you on the show today. We met to drop your such gems. Really appreciate you coming as our first guest on Breaking Hertz.
Tutakupatia blue ribbon.
Nataka merchandise bwana. Sasa nini?
Wait, not our first guest. Venant was our first guest.
Venant ile siku Suki alijifungia kwa bafu. Venant stepped in valiantly.
Venant Yaji.
But our first guest outside the company.
Yes, our first guest outside the company.
So yeah, guys.
Jeff, thank you so much.
All right, cheers, guys. Anytime.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for vibing with us again. Episode 11. Hizo vitu mzuri unafaa kufanya. Watch everything on the channel. Mics are open. The wild card with Venant and Eric. Lockdown sessions. The wake up call. Kila kitu. All that stuff. So, thank you guys for vibing with us. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Peace out.